Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Place in the Middle podcast. My name is Amy.
And I'm Butter, and today we're going to talk about books.
Right, because we're just talking about them. And
Yes.
sorry, I'm chewing, so I'm trying to just finish this. Go ahead.
Yes, so we're going to talk about books today because we've got some interesting reads recently that I'm not a reader, and like I told Amy, I'm not a big reader, but I try to read every now and then, but it's just hard to get into a book and like read it to the end.
Mhm.
And recently, like we got into different books that has kept us reading. And so mine, while Amy's chewing.
I'm done.
Okay.
I'm
Okay,
done.
so you share. Okay, what book
Okay.
have you been into?
So, this is like so funny because I was talking to Butter how I heard about this one author, and I'm like, do you know her? Emily Henry. And Butter's like, yes, I do. So, I told her, like, I've had these 3 books of hers that has been laying around catching dust bunnies in my room.
Yeah.
And I haven't read it. And it's just like sitting there. And Butter was like, me too!
Yeah. We're the type of people who don't really read but buy the books to read.
I know. It sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
like, I could get into this.
Right.
And it's like
and never
sitting
picked it
there.
up.
Yeah.
Right. So this past week, I think like in the past month, actually, I've been struggling with like just migraines.
Right.
I've been really sensitive to lights. I've been telling you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had to like start reading because I couldn't fall asleep either.
Oh my gosh. I know. Do you know what? I have a similar thing in the sense, like every time you want to fall, like we just doom scroll or we just on the phone.
Girl, doom scroll is so bad.
And the thing
I got it so bad.
And the thing is, it's not just doom scrolling for me. It's like even watching movies or TV shows. At one point, your brain is just like fried. Like I'm just too much screen time, and I feel it.
Uh-huh.
And so, but I'm like, but I'm not gonna go out. I just want to do something else. And reading helps it be like, bring like I don't know. For me, it just helps it tune down.
Right.
And so then that's why I was like, I wanted to start reading something, but I've been so tired of like reading what I usually read.
That's me. Yeah, that
You
was
know?
me. Yeah.
And until one of our friends like asked me to get her, like it was Secret Santa, and she asked me to get a book, and she was like, this is really good. And so I remembered that, and I'm like, I should give it a try and see if it's any good.
Wait, I remember that because it was Friendsgiving, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and we kind of combined Christmas and
Yes.
Friendsgiving together. And then you got her that book.
Yeah.
Wait, so you
And it was
started
the 4th book. She got the 4th book.
right, but you started from book number one
One
on that month?
later.
Wait, so you
And I'm on the 5th one now.
what?
That's why I was saying.
Okay.
I was eating it up. Like
Right.
Because I was like, you know what? I started reading probably in December.
Dang, girl.
No, November, December. Yeah.
3 months, and you're in
Yes.
book 5.
The
I get it.
The
I get it.
3rd book, I read it in 4 days. The 4th was like 600 pages. I was really proud of myself because I never read a book for 600 pages.
Not even in school. I'm not
Not
gonna lie.
even in school. And to me it was just like, whoa, I can do this. Like I can read this. If it's good enough, I will read it. And so the whole time thinking, this author, dang, she is creative. Like how do you even think about, like how do you come up with these fantasies? Like because the books that I was reading, I'm still reading, is from the Court of Thorns and Roses.
Is it called like the Akatar or something like that? Was it that one? No.
Adder, which one?
Never mind. It's like I heard. Never mind.
There's a different one.
It's a different universe it's the same author. Yeah.
Okay, so yes, so I started to read it because our friend was like, it's good, and stuff like that. And I remember my best friend 3 years ago read this book, and I was like, I'm not into it. I don't want to read.
Yeah.
Didn't do it, and I finally read it. And I asked my best friend, I'm like, hey, like, is this the book you were talking about? She's like, yeah. I'm now on like the 4th book, and I'm like, I just started.
Because it slowly came out, right? It's not like a one, or is it already came out? All of them.
This Court of Thorns and Roses is finished.
Okay.
So the 5th book is the end, I believe. Yeah,
Mhm.
and so, but they're thick ones. Some of them are like thinner, but like they're thick, but she makes it so good that you just keep flipping through it. You're just like, oh my gosh, I want to know how it ends. And even though I'm the type of person who doesn't like surprises,
Oh, I'm kind of the same way.
so I need to read the end first to see if like this is something worth
Wait, what?
investing into.
Okay, that's a bit much.
Like I don't like surprises like that. So like if the book
Oh.
is gonna have a cliffhanger, or like an ending that I'm just like it's not worth 600 pages to get into, and then to have a hangover afterwards of like why
Right,
did it end
right,
like
right.
that. I have to kind of like see like the way it's going. But even though I looked through her book, I went back to read it and it's still so good. Do you know what I'm saying? Like that's
Wait, do you
like
have
good
the physical
writing.
copies for all of them?
Yes.
I might just borrow them.
Okay.
Anyways,
But like
it's crazy.
like I bought the first one and then I'm like, oh, this is pretty good. Like it's a little slow the first book I would say, but then the second, third, and fourth, I was like, no, the second and third, I was like, wow, like just
Yeah, so
absorbed.
I started the first book,
Hmm.
but like I think it was in my Kindle,
Oh, okay.
and I don't know what happened to it. Like it was just suddenly gone.
Oh, really?
Like I couldn't find it anymore. So I'm like, whatever, I'll just borrow yours.
But I love flipping through books.
Me too.
when
I
read.
realized I mean I love Kindle when I got it on my birthday when
Mm-mm.
in like 2024.
Kindle.
Yes, I've been
Uh-uh.
using the same one the whole time.
Uh-huh.
And it's
2024 last year.
2014. Oh my
Okay,
gosh,
I
it's
was like,
11
gonna
years.
be like,
Duh. Wow.
last year I was like, that's new.
Yeah. Anyways, so it's because I've been, I travel a lot during that
Yeah.
time. So I'm like, I can't just carry books
Right.
in my suitcase.
It's really difficult like that.
Yeah. So
That's how I got a Kindle too. I'm like, it's better
too.
for traveling.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was just gone. I don't know where it is. Like the
Interesting.
yeah.
But I will say it was one of the books that I was surprised that I got into, but I needed a different genre than what I
Wait, what do you
read.
usually read?
Well, I read books that are like good for the mind.
Oh, okay.
Like good for like self-development, things like that that people recommended,
Mm.
mental health maybe, things of like it insights from people,
Mm.
even on like Christianity, their own walk,
Right.
you know, their own journey, things like that. And like it's
So it's like self-help book kind of deal.
yeah, I guess it's kind of
self-development, yeah.
self-help book and just like encouragement
Uh-huh.
books of like I don't know, just like I feel like there's some good nuggets in there to remind myself with. But then I'm like, I don't really want to read this. Or I read something like not Emily Henry, but like her genre, like rom-coms.
I really love like romance rom-com. Like I
Me too.
love those book kind of books.
That's the two I go to, like self-development or rom-com books.
Mhm.
But the thing is, sometimes with rom-com, like to me, I seems like a lot of them are just the same storyline, even though there's different authors,
Mm.
but it's like the same deal.
Right.
You
I get
know,
it. I
like
get it. Yeah.
it's the same type of storyline. Like they might not like each other in the beginning, and then they end up liking each other in the end. But it just depends what twists each author has in there that makes it fascinating for me.
Uh-huh.
So like one of them that I really liked, that was a rom-com,
Mhm.
was a rom like a romance kind of this genre was I don't remember the name, but like it was about a girl, like how a girl fell in love with a guy, but she has autism. She was on the spectrum.
Mhm.
And like I just love those kind of books where it just there's a different aspect to it and how that relationship works, how their brain works a little bit more, and like the inclusivity of that, where it's not just the like a Cinderella story that's the twist in it, but it's
Mhm.
like a different like I don't know, like there's a different twist.
Mhm.
So I like those kind of books, but I don't see those one often, and I'm not into it often.
Right. I totally get it. It's
Yeah.
kind of like it's quite repetitive
Yes,
in some books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but like the fantasy genre never really got into any fantasy in my life. And so this one was just like, oh, I know a couple people who enjoyed it. Let me just try. I needed something different.
I heard so many good things about this series.
Very good. That I'm on the 5th book, right? And so I just want to pick up 2 new books in the series called well, I can't look it up. It's like The Glass. It's by the same author.
Yes.
And this one is finished but it's 8 books long.
Girl, I'm so happy. You know how like sometimes you can watch a TV shows
Yeah.
and like I'm so having so much fun.
Uh-huh.
I will look at how many seasons and episodes they have.
Right.
And I'm like, oh thank God. Like it's
Like,
not
there's
gonna
a
end
lot.
soon. I know.
Yeah.
Oh, like Friends?
Oh,
Girls,
yeah.
I watch it like 5 times.
Yeah.
I still look at the season and I'm like, please don't end yet. Please don't end yet.
Yeah. And so this one, but
Really
it's like an investment of time, right? Like I feel like
Yeah.
if I start on the first one, I need to see how it ends.
I'm that
So
type
then,
of person.
if I'm gonna read the first book, I need to be committed for 8 books long.
Right.
So I'm like, are you committed to this? How long is it gonna take you? Are you like, or are you kind of sick of reading
The Throne of Glass.
The Throne of Glass?
Yes.
And it's 8 books. And they said this is really interesting because the way you should read it, some of them in the middle, you should read it together, 2 books at the same
Wait,
time.
what?
Yeah.
That's wild.
I was like shocked. I was like,
What? How did you
really?
think of that?
I was like, you should read it together. And I'm like, whoa, interesting. But so I got the first 2 books. I haven't started because I'm finishing up the 5th one, but I wanted to have it just when I finish, I can read it.
I need to.
Wait, so tell me about the book that you finished. Because you said like I'm probably gonna like it.
Okay, wait, hold on. So the whole ACOTAR that I've heard
Uh-huh.
is literally the universe of the one that you're reading now, The Court of Thorns and Roses. For some reason they call it I don't know why. I've heard that name on like TikTok and stuff.
Oh.
Anyways, let me talk about mine. So I've been in like I used to love reading. Like okay, way back when I started like international school, I hated reading because
Me
like
too.
reading is not something that is instilled into our culture. Like we
Yeah.
just don't read, right?
Right.
And
But
but
it's
then
slow too. If you're a slow
know.
reader and I want to know the ending, oh my gosh.
I know. And but for me to actually improve in my writing,
Mm,
I needed to read,
right.
which I didn't understand back then. But
Yeah,
then
me too.
when I was in the library back at when we were in school,
Yeah.
remember the elementary library? Oh, I love that
It's-
library.
Me too.
The smell of it.
Yes.
Oh,
They had such a great little library with tons of books, but
Did
just
I-
the smell.
Do you know that what my senior year, I actually TA'd for that library.
Oh really?
I actually went back. Yeah.
Oh.
So I discovered the Babysitters Club. Yeah, I'm not a
The
magic.
chapter book.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
And wait, is it chapter books? But it's like a series. It's kind of like Magic Tree House.
Mhm.
Yeah. But it's Babysitters Club. It's
Mm.
just about like 5 girls, and like
Mhm.
they every Monday, Tuesday night they would like gather in one of the girls' room and like pick up the phone and like babysit like their
Yes.
neighbors' kids. So that was like my first real like love for books. Like,
Mm.
I think I was in grade 6.
Mm.
I was quite late to like that whole reading thing. But in 1 week I would read like 3 books of that.
Wow.
I loved it. I wanted to know what was happening. Anyways, so fast forward. So I knew that like I love reading, but like during the time when you're in school, honestly, I don't really read.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to survive.
Yep.
But once because my cousin in Bangkok, she loves reading,
Oh really?
and she actually recommended me like The Court of Thorns and
Court of
Roses like years ago.
Oh,
When
really?
like years ago.
Yeah, because it was famous on like TikTok or something.
Like for some reason, yeah, Book Talk it has been like it was famous like a year ago, I think. I was like, I've heard of this, like but never read it. But anyways, this book. So I've been in a reading slump basically. I finished Harry Potter, all the books in like 6 months, I think,
Oh, okay.
when I was in college, and then I love Percy Jackson as well.
Oh really?
That whole thing, yeah.
Okay.
Back then I love young adult YA novels.
Okay.
Yeah, which it makes sense because I was
You're a young adult.
Yeah. But I've been in a reading slump. I haven't read in like 3 years.
I
And
know
I'm
what
like,
you mean. Sometimes
I'm
they're really
just-
long slumps.
I'm just so tired, and I'm just like I just need to relax, and like I need something that is like quick
Uh-huh.
because I don't have time, right?
Yeah.
So again, back to doom scrolling. So I've been just scrolling, and your brain is fried. At one point, with my whole migraine thingy, I'm like, I need to stop. Like I can't fall asleep,
Uh-huh.
and I think it's better for me to just read. Nope,
Read.
because I want to know what happens. So I would stay up.
Oh yeah.
The
If
second-
it's really good,
Yeah, I know.
there is no sleeping.
I know. So I think so I've been reading so I just finished Happy Place by Emily Henry.
Yeah,
I finished that book in 2 days.
that's crazy.
And like the first day I finished like 5 chapters. And the rest, the second day it was 35. I did not do anything. Like that day was like my day off.
Just reading day.
And I stayed up until like 3.
I can see that.
I just needed to know what happened. So basically it's about this girl.
Okay.
She's
Do I need to drive to Asia Books after this? I'm pretty sure I have this copy, but I just don't know where it is.
I'm pretty sure you have it. I mean, you've seen it, right?
I've seen it. It's pink. It's all
Yes,
pink.
yes.
Yeah. And I'm
Oh,
like,
also I just discovered that different countries have different covers for books. Like, can I see?
oh yeah.
Okay, so
Sometimes they come up with
Butter showed me Beach Read, and this is our cover. Wait, where do you get this? Oh, Asia Books?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait,
So I
is it?
think this is like, yeah, it is Asia Books. I think this is like the Asia version. I don't know.
They have multiple like, and it
Right,
depends on
right.
the size too, and then the
I
covers.
I have the same size but different cover.
Oh, okay.
So I have the same book, but
Uh-huh.
it's like mine is yellow.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I've seen
I
it.
think they have multiple covers you can
Yeah.
get. I think this I bought it a year ago
Yeah. So mine's pink,
and has been on my bookshelf.
and I mean, Happy Place is pink, and so it's about this one girl. Like her whole life, I would describe like this. She has an older sister, and for her whole life, because her older sister is such a rebellious like girl, so her parents kind of put all hopes in her. That's how she felt, and she kind of she wants to live up to the expectation that they have,
yeah.
and she's been trying to do like everything to
Yeah.
please her like family and keep them together because
Ugh.
like she kind of knew that like her parents like they just stayed with each other. They didn't really love each other, so that was mentioned in the book.
Oh.
Anyways, so it's about this girl. She her name is Harriet. What an interesting name, right? Like I get it, but I feel like Harriet is not a it's not a
common.
name that you use in like an American like by an American author.
Right.
I think she's
Is she
American.
And that's why I was wondering if she's.
Is Emily Henry American?
I have no idea.
Anyway,
Yeah, I think so. She studied at Hope College and the New York Center for Art and Media Studies.
anyway, so she is about this girl Harriet. The book started with they went like her two of her best friends from college, and they're like tight. They were explaining how tight they were, and like they were put into a dorm together in first year. They didn't know each other, but they became best friends. And every single year they would go to one of Sabrina's dad's like what is it called, like a now
Oh,
why do I know this in Thai?
Yeah, why do you know that? In
Like a
Thai?
vacation home.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So they would go every single year, but that year they went and Sabrina had to break the news that her dad is selling the place.
Oh, okay.
He's on his like seventh wife or something like that.
Uh-huh.
But so basically they kind of relive that whole like friendship, but the character is that Harriet is engaged to another guy. His not another guy, to a guy named, his name is Wyn, Wyn, Wynnum. Like that's his full name. I'm
Oh.
like, again, interesting name.
Yeah. Ones you don't really hear of.
Right. But everybody got invited to the vacation home, but her group of friends doesn't know that Harriet and Wyn broke it off. Like they broke up.
I've read the back of this cover.
Yes.
I think I was gonna go buy it. Maybe
Yes.
I buy it.
I think you've seen it.
Uh-huh.
Anyways, so it's about this just whole week that they have to keep the secret and kind of figure their life out. And I don't know, it just hit the spot for me.
Did
It felt like that expectation that you've been trying to live your whole life and you're just like a people pleaser. So that's why I'm like,
was it deeper than you thought?
ooh.
Like than
I mean, I won't think it's deep,
but
I
deeper
think
than you thought it
it's
was.
very heartwarming. It's very cozy. It's deeper than I thought I expected.
Okay.
And yeah, I really enjoyed it. I finished it in 2 days.
Oh,
I
okay,
woke
I'm gonna
up
go
with a
buy it.
freaking like my eyes were swollen, not shut,
Girl,
but like
I've been reading so fast. They say my eyes are dry,
me too.
so dry to the point I had to I had to do eye drops. I'm okay. I need to go buy the book. I think I saw it and I was thinking like, should I buy this? And I thought I did, but maybe I didn't. So I need to go.
You can borrow mine, but again, like sometimes you would want to keep it.
That's why.
You
That's
know
why
what
I was
I
like,
mean?
I'm wondering like, should I just go get it so I can keep it? Because
Yeah.
if it's good, I want to reread it later.
Yeah.
But I realized like with a lot of these like novels, I also really like if it's Asian.
Ooh.
Because I feel like there are some aspects in these books that are so Asian culture
That is relatable
That-
to you.
that's really, yeah, like that I feel like, wow, like yes, there is that level of cultural aspect that is involved in the books,
Mm.
in these like love stories or whatever, and that make it more relatable.
That's fun. Yeah. I
And
like
also
it.
there's like a little bit of something else instead of just the normal love story. Any love story.
I totally get like the context and the background of
Yes.
the character. Yeah,
I
totally
really
get
like it.
The
For a
backstory.
while though, there was like some books where I would talk to my sister and I'd be like, I can't read it anymore. It made me so angry because we were at a stage where felt like in our work where we had to fight for our place um in the work, even though like we maybe work harder or like we're qualified, but we were never considered and we would have to work harder. And these books always portray that, like the female role as like the underdog, the ones who are like neglected, things like
Mhm.
that. You have to like put it down. It's like too
Because
close
you're
to
so
home.
angry.
I'm like so angry
Right.
because it's like so relatable.
There's this other author that I really love. Her
Mm.
name is Christina Lauren. Have you heard of her?
Yes, I
The
have. I think I
Unhoneymoon-
have her book too.
Oh yes. Okay.
What
The
is
Unhoneymooners, and
I've seen it. I don't think.
it's so funny.
Oh,
like
really?
I didn't think it was gonna be that funny. Like
I've seen that
I-
book. I've seen it because I mean
it's
they're like all
so
over. I mean they're
funny.
like best-selling authors.
yeah, I really love them. And I think she has another book. I want to
I might have something of hers, Christina Lauren. I think I read her.
Christina Lauren,
I
The
think I've read it.
Unhoneymooners, and what's the other one?
The Wild Place, is that one?
Love and Other Words.
Love in Other Words.
That one
The-
is really
Who does
good
The
too.
Wild Place? Because I read that one too. I think it's a different author.
Let's see. The Wild Place.
Or the
I want-
Wilder Branch. I don't have no idea, to be honest. Is there something like that? The Wild.
Where the Wild Things Are? No, I don't think
Ooh,
so.
I don't think
no.
so. I'm not really sure, but I did read. There's another author. Her name's Allie Hazelwood.
Yes! Wait, I know her.
She writes a lot of books about like really
Ah,
smart people.
Yeah. The Love Hypothesis. Love.
Yes, those
Okay.
are really famous.
The Love Hypothesis, I have it sitting on my coffee table.
It's there.
I started reading it, couldn't
Never-
get into it,
Sometimes it's hard. I don't think I'm not sure if I
but honestly,
Fin-
at that
finish
point,
it.
I was still in my reading slump. So like,
might
I
try
didn't,
again.
I didn't give it a chance. I'm not online. I'm not gonna give it a chance.
See, that's hard. No matter what book you're reading, if you're in reading slump, it's just not good. It's just hard to get through it.
I'm like, I
think.
just want to pick it up.
Yeah,
you know?
I have to be like in the mood, like, oh, I want to start something, and then I'm like, okay, then I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I'm gonna start People on Vacation soon. I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I have a. It's so funny because like I think I filmed like a video. Like I have a
Mm.
footage of me reading that book, but thinking back, I have no idea what this book is about.
this one, the one you're about to read,
Yeah,
you read it already?
apparently not. I haven't seen it. I mean, I remember the cover, but like I actually don't remember what
It was about.
I don't remember it.
Then apparently not.
So I need to start again and just give it a
Oh,
chance.
but now that you talked about that, maybe I will take a break from the fantasy and then start reading the Happy Place.
I love that. I will read it again.
Because for me, I feel like sometimes fantasy is good, but it's so intense sometimes.
Right.
that I'm just like, it's good, but I'm like, this one, it's good to mix it up with some lighthearted stuff. At
I really
times.
enjoyed it. Yeah.
That's good.
It's so good. Maybe I just read it again. You know what? Are you a type of person that read two books at the same time? Or you just have to take one?
Oh, I think I tried to do that before, but I don't think I can really do that.
Yeah, I can't do it either.
I think I get it mixed up. Like, where am I? Even sometimes with this
Me
book,
too.
because it's so long, and if I come back to it, I'm like, I'm not really sure what's happening. Like, I
get
don't
it.
remember where I stopped,
Right.
what was happening before, and then as I keep reading, I'm like, oh yes, this is what happened.
Right. That's true.
But I'm really happy with this author from A Court of Thorns and Roses, Sarah
J. Maas.
J. Maas, yeah. She like would kind of give you reminders of who this character is.
Oh, good.
So because it's so long, sometimes I'm like, who is this person again? There's so many characters. And then she would be kind of like, in its her own way, kind of say like who he is or who they are.
I love
like,
that.
Yeah, and so you
Yeah.
don't have to be like, I need to go back and look.
I had that problem with. So back in college, I watched Game of Thrones.
Oh, okay.
So,
I never got into it.
One of our friends got me hooked onto
Oh,
it, and her boyfriend got her hooked into it.
Oh, really?
But then the first season,
Oh, it was so
like,
many people.
I didn't understand anything.
Oh.
So she explained it to me, who is this person, and I was like, ooh. And once season 1 is done, I totally get it.
Because
You know,
they
it's
help
kind of like
I mean,
the
because
same
she helped
feeling
you. Yeah.
where like there are some books where like the first book is like the first season of a TV show where
Yeah.
you understand nothing,
Right.
right? But you just have to read it,
You just you're laying the foundation.
right?
Yeah.
Which I hate those. I'm not gonna lie.
It's
just,
hard. It's
ugh.
hard.
Yeah,
It's slow.
it's
sometimes.
true. Yeah. Anyways, Allie Hazelwood.
She
you
comes
heard-
up with like a lot.
Have you read it?
I think I read one or two, but like
Which one have you read? Have you read?
I can't even tell you.
Oh, well.
Like it was like last year maybe, but I think I skimmed through it and I'm not really sure what it was about now that I'm talking to you.
Yeah. So are you on Goodreads?
No.
So basically, it's kind of like Facebook, but for books.
Oh,
Yeah. So people
I've seen it, but
and I have friends that are on it, and
Uh-huh.
like one of my good friends actually rate the Love Hypothesis
Yeah.
only 3 stars.
Interesting, but that was really famous. That's why I got into it. I think
I mean,
because
I saw it everywhere. I think I got this book in Singapore in the airport because I'm
Uh-huh.
like I need something to read.
Yeah.
Did I read it in the book? Nope, I slept.
I do that too. I'm like, oh, maybe
Yeah.
I'll read it on the plane.
Nope.
I think there are my sister my sister said Fourth Wing and my best friend said Fourth Wing is really good,
Yeah.
but it's not finished yet. Like
Yeah.
and it leaves you on cliffhangers. And so I'm glad my sister told me that because I'm not the type who can read that when it's on cliffhangers.
Right.
Like I need it to finish and then I'll start reading.
Yeah.
And she said the third one just came out and it's not finished. Like there will be
I don't
more.
like those. I'm like I'll
Yeah,
honestly wait.
me
Like,
too.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not.
I don't want to start and get hooked and have to wait for 2 more years.
see.
You know?
I'm the type of person. Okay, there's this one shows in Netflix. I don't remember what it was,
Mhm.
but it slow came out with like each season.
Yeah.
Every single time a season came out, I've already forgot what happened, like what the story is about, who's the
Yeah.
character. So I would have to rewatch again. So I'm like, you know what? Might as well just wait for it to come out and
Yeah.
then I'll watch the whole thing.
If you can have that kind of self control, then you can
Yeah.
do that. Some people are like, I want to know, like I want to see
I just distract myself with other things,
it.
find
Do
other things to do.
Yeah, I think with books, I think it was hard in school because we had to read so many things that we don't like to do a pleasure read was not
Mhm.
something I was pleasurable. Is that a word? Like,
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, because I have
Yeah.
to read so much already, to read more is too much for me.
I get it. I totally get it. Oh, there's this one other book. I also love the whole going back and forth between past and future. Not past. Yeah, like in the past and current.
Oh,
What is that thing called? I don't remember what it is.
I
but
can't do that.
There's a name to it. So every single chapter is like back then. I love it because the what is it called? I think that's why I enjoy Happy Place a little bit. So it actually go back a little bit in their relationship, how they met.
I think that's why I didn't buy it. It's because I
Mm.
thought I wasn't gonna like the going
Yeah.
back and forth.
It's actually in the beginning I was confused, but I'm like, oh, I kind of picked that up.
Oh,
But now now that you know, you'll be fine.
oh, interesting.
Yeah, because like they would actually explain like why, like what's about to happen, and they lay a foundation of that chapter
Right.
of like, hey, the next chapter, the reason why this is happening is because of the last chapter. So I was like, oh, I really love like going back and forth
yeah.
because I know another book that I really love as well. That is
Does that?
Yeah. don't
I think
remember
that
what
was
it
like
is.
the thing that like stops me from buying books. Is like the
Really?
going back and forth.
I think that
like, I
really
couldn't do
I
it.
really enjoyed that.
But then now that you're saying it like that, I might give this one a try.
Yeah. It's called Every Summer After.
How does this cover look like? Ooh, okay, I don't know this.
No, this one I don't think this one is a what is it called? Like not that famous.
Oh,
I
okay.
would say, but
There's another one that is like quite famous, I think, and it goes. My sister told me it goes back and forth. But I heard that people these days don't read as much anymore.
that's true.
I don't know. For some reason, I still find value in reading, even
Me
though
too.
like our world is turning towards media and like
Yeah.
being good with tech.
Yeah.
But something about going to reading, I feel like is the basic of
Yeah.
like foundational.
Yeah.
Like that's how you learn to build your vocabulary, sentence structure, and
Oh,
like
100%.
you know, like
yeah.
write better.
I literally encourage my student that I teach them dance. I was like, hey, like because they were, they talk to me about like school and stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm like, hey, you need to pick up a book and like start reading, like,
Yeah.
and pick a book that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Okay, don't read like
Something you don't like, and then you really
exactly,
don't
and you
wanna
would
read.
hate it
Yeah.
so much. But like the things that you can get into and
Yeah.
like get excited for. Ooh, I love that feeling where I'm like, ooh, I want to like I can finally go home and like
Me too.
read.
This last week has been that of like if I'm out and I'm like tired and I just think about like, oh, I get to go home and read. I feel so like warm and cozy
Me
inside.
too. Me too.
And just like, I guess I'm ready. Like, I'm
It's
ready
just
to go
some
home.
like I feel like some like reading is just something that it always made me feel cozy. It doesn't matter what outside it's like.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's just like
If you get into the book, like it makes me
That's
want to like
true.
come back to it. But
that's
that's so
true.
hard for me to find one that's like makes me want to stay up and keep
Mhm.
reading.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, or if it's slow,
Hmm.
it's hard for me to wait to like, okay, like get to the end.
Right,
Like,
right. Yeah. That's so fun. And I'm the type of person that I don't like slow narratives as well.
yeah,
Like
like fast paced. That's why even though the Court of Thorns and Roses, maybe the first one might be a little slow, but actually it's really fast. The afterwards is like boop, 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 like
yeah.
to the point where like, oh wow, that's really fast. I like it.
Did the book started with this like the character going to the market or something like that? Right?
Yeah,
Okay,
something-
yeah.
yeah.
So I read the first the first few chapters. I remember
Yeah,
that.
like she went to the woods and then she
That's
went
right.
to the market.
That's right. So
Yeah.
she's trying to like explain the whole system that is like
How it works.
that's right.
Right,
Okay, I
yeah.
remember.
So like I would remember being in stone. I'm like, I'm not sure I'm gonna get into this, and like 3/4, then it starts to like pick up. Like the
I totally get it.
stuff.
It's like once you get it, it's like oh, it's really, really
And then
fun.
now you can't put it down. It's just like, oh, like in a movie, you can kind of like close your eyes in some of the
Yeah.
parts, but it's like I can't close my eyes. I have to keep reading these. And it's
Right.
like-
But like I love that whole thing of like you know when you're reading and you have that explanation and you use your own imagination to imagine like the whole
Right.
scenario. I love it.
yeah,
It's just like I don't have to have the media to tell me what it looks like.
Yeah.
I really love that because I'm like, oh, this is how it happens.
yeah.
and,
In my
like,
imagination, this is how these people like what's going on. in the
Right.
scene. Yeah.
right. I love that.
That's the fun part about reading if you can get into it. But I will say it's really hard. Like you really have to find your genre and right timing for
That's
us,
true.
at least.
That's true.
Because even though you have good books, I'm sure these books are awesome. But like at the wrong time, it's just not hitting the spot.
That's true. Oh, there are so many books that I want to read now.
many
My
books do you think have
friend,
read?
she what is it called? She recommended this one book called The 7-Year Slip, but this one I'm pretty sure is a little bit about time travel. So I'm like, I don't know, I'm gonna get into that. But
Uh-huh.
you know what? A lot of people said it's good, so
Might be worth trying it out.
that's true. The 7-Year Slip by Ashley Poston. Yeah.
I'm like behind. Like I don't really look at book reviews.
Ooh, people are rating it super high, like 5, 4.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
I like don't really look at reviews on books.
The thing is, I feel like with reviews, you have to find like a person that actually fits your genre of like
Right.
your vibes. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's kind of like
They get what you like. Like you like the same thing, so then her reviews would match with what you would want.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, The Seventh Husband of Evelyn Hugo is a very famous one too. It's by Taylor Jenkins Reid, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard so many good things about her too. Malibu Rising is the one that she wrote.
I've seen that.
Yes,
I think I've seen that.
you've definitely seen it. Yeah, it's so famous. Like the cover is like water is blue.
Mm-mm. See, this is the thing is like even though it's famous, like it takes me time. Like it doesn't matter if it's famous if I'm not gonna.
That's true. If I'm
I'm-
not gonna be into it, it's
Yeah.
over.
right. Like I have to be in a place where I'm open to new reads. Like Court of Thorns and Roses, I don't think in my life I would ever pick it up. But I was looking for a different genre than what I usually read.
Right.
And that's why I was like, okay, I'll
Right.
give it a try.
You know what? That's good.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Yeah.
glad I did. I mean, it was perfect timing.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? It's so interesting because like I used to love fantasy to one point, but at one point I'm like for me, my go-to and like my cozy reads are like romance
Mm-hmm.
because I feel like that's more of like thing that is more relatable, I
Yeah.
guess. But sometimes fantasy you kind of have to understand.
You understand and
Like the se-
imagine. Like,
exactly. I really
You-
love it came out with a movie that's really bad. I don't remember it. It's just, it's very old. I
Uh-huh.
read it in college. It's a fantasy. I don't.
Hmm.
Anyways.
it just with books is yeah, I usually it's just easier for me, I think if it's not fantasy.
Me too.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
Fantasy
I-
for me is just not my genre, I feel like.
Me either. Yeah. I can get into it. I'm not gonna lie. I can get into it, but I don't it's not my go-to. It's not
Mhm.
something that like I would
Automatically pick up and
that's
follow.
true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too.
Unless like it's really, really good. Like if people recommended it. I mean, I would read the
Corn.
corn. What is it called? The Court of Thorns and Roses? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would totally read it.
The thing is, it was famous like 2-3 years ago.
No, actually it was famous way before that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, wait, like when did it come out? It came out so long ago. It's not new book.
My best friend reading it when she came to visit like 2-3 years ago, and at that time I didn't even know what that was. I was like, oh, I'm not
Let's
into
see.
it.
When did
And
the book come
and
out?
it's still available now, which means I feel like it's pretty famous still.
It published in 2020, I think. Yeah, this edition, but I don't know when it.
Originally?
No, it originally has to be way before that because this book got an award in 2015.
Oh.
Like, it's like 10 years ago. Like my cousin read it back then.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she read it on her Kindle. She told me about it.
Wow. I'm like, well, I know I'm like way behind because I'm not like I don't read that fast, and I don't like reading all the time,
Hmm
and so I'm behind. But I'm like, I'm glad I found this though.
I'm so excited to read it now. Yeah, I have. So I have my cousin, my and like some of like the influencer that I really like follow their reads,
Yeah,
and yeah, they
their
all rated
recommendations
it like 5 and 4s.
for A Court of Thorns and Roses.
Yeah,
I mean, it was really good.
yeah.
Or else I don't think I could get through 600 pages.
My cousin literally said, um, real rating 4.5. It took me a lot of will to uh put this book down every night, knowing I have to wake up early and I could not sleep because I kept thinking about it and what will happen because I had to go to sleep. Oh my gosh.
That's a real reader.
Yeah.
That's hard because like I'm like just one more chapter and I read and like
And the
"Oh,
next thing
another
you
one."
know, it's 2. Ugh.
Seriously, my eyes are so dry these last
Yeah.
couple weeks.
But like you want to go through it. You know what I
I
mean?
want to see how it ends, and it's
Exactly.
not just even the ending. It's like how the author makes it go to the end. It's important. It's
Exactly.
like how did she weave the story together?
Exactly. So that was a really good conversation about books.
Yeah, I didn't think we would ever talk about books because I'm
Me
not.
either, yeah.
This is probably the most and the fastest I've read in a very long time. Actually, maybe in my life.
You're really hooked.
Yeah, I was surprised because at first I was like, ah, it's okay, and then I'm like eating it up.
Oof.
It was so.
Do you buy it at Asia Books?
Yes.
Okay.
I bought it at Asia Books. Yeah.
I feel like sometimes Asia Books like they don't have the selections that I want.
No, but that's why I would contact them, or I would go to the store and be like, "Do you have these books?" And like, we have it at this store. But then I would be like, Can I come pick it up later at this store?" And they're like, "Okay."
Oh, perfect.
So they will go grab it, and then they'll call you when it's ready, and you go pick it up.
Yeah. Because when I'm in Bangkok, I love going to Kino.
Yeah. Me too. Their selections is just like
They have
it just makes me feel
so
good.
much stuff.
Mhm.
Like so much.
Sometimes it's overwhelming how much stuff they have, but I just like the feel of like a library. Like
Me
a
too.
book
Me too. Yeah,
style.
just books.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I feel like the vibe in Kino
Mhm.
is just so like nice and cozy.
Right.
And
And that's
Asia
why-
Book is too bright for me.
Asia Books, I don't really like to go into that, but
Me either.
But the thing is, like like I would buy books, and it's like books, and then
You don't read
I
it.
don't read it. Like in the store,
I'm
it
the
just
same
feels
way.
like I need to buy.
I mean,
it. Like
that's what happened to me with Happy Place, but now I read it. And
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh.
I mean,
it's
I
so
go
good.
back like now, like I think I
Yeah.
read some of those things, but
That's so fun.
it's just fun buying books.
It's true.
But you should read it too, though. Like we should read
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
But now that we're not in our reading slump, so my next book is People We Met on Vacation.
I'm trying to finish the last book of the Court of Thorns and Roses.
This is the last book, right? It's
This
the
is
fifth
the last
book.
one.
Dang, it's thick.
It's thick, but like the second and the third one was really thick too.
is thicker, right?
This is the thickest one, I think.
I
I
might
was like
just-
comparing it. 'cause
I
I'm-
honestly might just after I finish that book, I might just borrow
Mm.
your whole series.
It was really good. I really liked it.
So
But I don't
excited.
know about this. This one's so thick and it's taking me longer to
Oof.
read it. But
Yeah.
it's good. All right.
Anyways, so if you have any recommendations for books, we would love to hear it because
Yeah.
honestly, now we're just trying to find new books to read
Mhm.
and not fried our brain, just doom scrolling.
Yeah, I think it's good break. Like it takes a break from
Yeah.
other things
That's true.
and like rest your eyes in a different way.
Yeah, it just kind of like exercise your creativity and imagination as well. It's really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So I hope you guys have some
enjoy
time
this,
to read.
right? And enjoy this episode.
Yes. And hopefully see you next Tuesday. We always hope
It's
to see
always
you.
a gamble, okay? Like, but now I feel like we're doing better
Yeah.
than last month.
Yeah.
So I think we're good. So I will see you next Tuesday, hopefully.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.